Hey guys, this is Marcus with Trimmer Manual, and today we're going to take a look at the Brio Beardscape version 2. So the Brio Beardscape and also like the Manscaped, those are the two primary trimmers you really see influencers and people push on YouTube and online. So I thought I would pick this thing up and put it to the test and see, is it actually worth the money? Today we're going to find out. So first things first, the unboxing with this was a very good experience compared to other trimmers that I've purchased. First of all, I really liked their packaging. It reminded me of an Apple product. Now mine came in a little bit damaged, but I can't really hold that against Brio. That probably happened during shipping. But overall, I really enjoyed the experience. When opening the box, you could see the trimmer sitting there along with the charger and a nice display. It looked very clean and very professional. Additionally, when you actually remove the trimmer and start getting into the accessories, those are well organized. And again, Apple-esque boxes with everything labeled with nice graphics on it. That's something that I really appreciate. It's a nice touch. Okay, so let's talk about what you actually get in the box when you purchase your Brio Beardscape. You get, of course, a nice charging stand, the trimmer itself, and a charging cable along with a charging block. They also give you 4 trim guards ranging from 2mm, 3mm, 18mm, and then another one that is 12mm. So yeah, a pretty good amount of range there with the trim guards. And additionally, they give you a couple of extra accessories. One that I really appreciate is oil. So not every trimmer really gives you this out there, but the Brio Beardscape does, and that's honestly a really nice touch. They also give you this nice little cleaning brush, and of course you get the manual. So overall, not too many accessories, but also not too little accessories. They give you pretty much exactly what you need right out of the box. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual trimmer itself. Now, the first thing I was kind of worried about when I saw this trimmer online initially was the size. I thought it would be too big. For some reason, when you see it in video, it kind of comes across as a very large trimmer, but actually holding it here in my hand it's not as big as I was initially assuming. It's of course not small, but it's not as big, and that's actually something I really appreciate. In my opinion, this is about the perfect size of a trimmer. It fits really well in the hand. I think the blade is the perfect width, so overall I'm very happy with that. The build quality of this trimmer is probably the best that I've ever seen. It really reminds me of like a quality DSLR camera, the type of plastic that they use. So it's very nice. The buttons are very tactile. You know, the blades and everything really have a nice sound, and the power seems to be extremely efficient. And I do like this display. At first I thought this would be something I didn't care about, like who cares about like a LED display on a trimmer, but now that I've been using it, it's actually something that I really appreciate and use way more than what I was initially assuming. So let's talk about some of the features. The Beardscape has a lot of features, so if I miss some, forgive me. It comes with a travel lock, 240 minutes of usage, which by the way, that's the max usage. If you increase the power, it's gonna be less than that. But one thing that's actually very cool is on the display, it shows you the amount of usage you have left. So if you increase the power, it'll show you like, okay, well you have about 90 minutes of use instead of 240. And if you decrease the power, it'll adjust for that. So I thought that was a really unique and very cool feature. Additionally, it has 24 adjustments, which is quite a lot. And some of the adjustments are actually right here on the trimmer itself. And the other ones that they're accounting for in that, I believe, come with the guards. So overall, probably one of the most versatile trimmers out there. That is a lot of adjustments. The previous trimmer that I had no adjustments. So that's definitely a nice touch. I also like how easy it is to remove the blades themselves if you decide to replace it later. You basically just snap it, pop it out. It's a little tricky in the beginning, but once you play around with it and do this a few times, it's not as bad as you were expecting. Additionally, if you have the old version and you're watching this video to consider upgrading to the new version, your old trimming heads will actually fit on this newer version. So that's just an extra added feature I thought I would mention. Now, one thing I will mention when it comes to the features that is a bit of a bummer is this trimmer is unfortunately not waterproof. Now, I accidentally did clean this under my faucet before I knew that it wasn't waterproof, but I had no issues. However, I do wish that they would make it actually waterproof, even though I personally had no issues. So your mileage may vary. And they do mention this on the box, which is what I saw later after cleaning the trimmer. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual performance of the Brio Beardscape. So as you can tell, I'm not a bearded individual. I didn't buy this trimmer specifically for trimming beards. I was really interested in this for body grooming, and also I really appreciate that stubble look, which is why I picked this trimmer up, because even though it's marketed as people for, with beards, the Beardscape, you can really fine tune things and get a very close trim, especially if you use the zero blade, which I did pick up, and we'll talk about that later. But overall, I would say my experience was really good. I did use this for body trimming, perfect, no nicks, no nothing bad. It performed very well. It cut the hair very efficiently, and I like that the motor is very fast. And so what that means is when the motor is faster, the hairs themselves are actually quite a bit smaller than what I had previously with my other trimmer. So I appreciate that for cleanup. Instead of picking up these long strands of hair, there's just little specks everywhere. So a little bit easier to clean, and that's something that I really appreciated. And now again, I really like this blade size. I feel like they put a lot of research into figuring out the ideal blade size, because while it's not small, it's also not big, and I feel like it's the ideal size for trimming and things like that. It's efficient enough to where it shaves quickly, and I can get the job done a lot quicker, but it's also not big enough to where I'll have a hard time getting into crevices or hard to reach areas. So I really think this is the perfect size. Now, when it comes to trimming my face, and again, I go for that stubble look, it did do a good job. Although I do wish it would get maybe just slightly a little bit closer of a trim, and then I wouldn't have had to buy the zero blade. However, if you do just buy this trimmer, just for getting a stubble look, it will do a very good job. Again, no issues with getting into my neck or around weird areas in my ears or anything like that. No nicks whatsoever. And one thing that's interesting about using this, especially for the stubble area, is I did not have to press very hard to actually get it to cut. With my previous trimmer, I would really have to press it against my skin to get a nice close trim. With this one, you don't do that, and actually you kind of do the opposite. You very lightly trim your face, and so that might take some getting used to, but overall I think it's a better process. It trims quicker this way and avoids any nicks, which I used to get quite often with my other trimming. There was also no pulling of the hairs or anything like that, and that's kind of one of the benefits of getting a high-end trimmer with a powerful motor in it. So even if you're a guy with stubble, that's actually really important. You don't want to have a trimmer pulling out your hairs and causing razor burn or anything like that. So now let's talk about some of the additional accessories that I picked up when I purchased this trimmer. Because I was someone who's interested in primarily body grooming and stubble trimming, I did pick up the zero blade and additionally their body trimming blade, because I wanted to compare to see if they made any difference, how they were compared to just the stock trimmer. I also picked up this very nifty little blade holder, which is very cool. You can see it holds the trimmers inside this nice pack, and that's something that I've never seen any other company do, and it's very convenient for traveling, but also I just like it to keep in my drawer. I could just easily pull it out, put it on my countertop, and easily switch between blades if I need to. I also got this cover because it was very affordable, and one thing about traveling is you don't want the blade touching or getting scratched or additionally scratching your bag or anything like that. So I did pick up this rubber cover, which is very interesting. Again, it's another accessory that I've never seen another company do. It works very well, and it looks fantastic, honestly. I prefer this over like a big bulky travel case with zippers and everything like that, because this one is really nice because it does the job. It just covers the blade and it protects most of the trimmer, but it's also very compact. So I can just throw it in my backpack, throw it in my luggage, and I don't have to worry about it. Additionally, like I mentioned before, I did pick up the zero blade and the body trimmer. So let's talk about how did those actually compare to the stock blade that you receive with their Brio Beardscape. So let's first talk about the body blade. So the body blade is very, very similar to the stock blade that you get with the Brio Beardscape. There is a difference, but it's very hard to tell what that difference is unless you're really looking closely. And so from my experience, from practical use, the body trimmer did perform slightly better, but I wouldn't say that it would be enough for someone to upgrade just for the performance alone. The only reason that I would get the body trimmer is if you want to have a second blade for trimming your body, because if you're using one trimmer for your face, you probably don't want to use that same blade for your body. So if you're gonna buy an additional blade anyway, you might as well pick it up because it's the exact same price as the stock blade that you get. However, there's only a minor performance difference. Now, the blade that I saw the biggest difference with, and the one that I would recommend most people picking up, would be the Zero blade, especially if you're like me and you really want to get a close trim because you like that stubble look. You don't really have a beard. You want to get close up trims, or if you do have a beard and you want those nice sharp lines to really shape your beard, then this is by far the blade that I would recommend. Now, you have to be very careful with this blade. It is a very close blade, and they call it the Zero blade for a reason. There were a few instances where I did nick myself around the curvatures of the front of my neck here. So if you're gonna use this blade, I would recommend using it as if you were shaving. So maybe pull your skin, make sure it's a flat surface, and to be very careful. Don't press too hard. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. From my experience, I had better luck with this when I was using it on the lower power setting, not the higher power setting. You could have a different experience, but from my experience, I got better results that way. So how close of a shave does the Zero blade actually give you? So the best way I could describe it is if you've ever shaven yourself clean and then the next day you wake up and you have like a little bit of stubble, just enough to barely notice, you can kind of feel that your face is prickly. That's pretty much exactly the result that the Zero blade provides. It's not going to give you a skin smooth shave. I don't think any trimmer could ever do that, but this gets a very close shave, and it's most similar to the day after you shave. And for me, that's perfect. That's what I prefer. I don't like I don't really like the shaven look anyway. I do prefer stubble, and I want it to kind of grow out. So using this once every 2 or 3 days is absolutely perfect for me. I also additionally really like the build quality of the Zero blade. It's actually made out of metal here on the bottom, and it feels much higher quality than the other blades that Brio provides. Now this one is a little bit more expensive, but if you're going to buy an additional blade, I would recommend one of these, the Zero blade, and then using the stock blade that comes with the Beardscape for your body and for your beard. Now maintenance is very easy. The blade is easily removed and all the surfaces are very clean, so there's not too many crevices where things could fall into. So overall maintenance is very easy. You can just kind of like pop the blade open, blow it with your mouth or something like that, and that alone removes most of the hair. And again, because of the power of the motor, it makes those hairs very thin, so you're not getting a ton of like junk or big hairs stuck in there. So maintenance overall, really great. One last thing I forgot to mention is when you actually have the trimmer on, it has this nice orange ring, which I just personally really love. I think it looks very classy and very modern. Just something I would like to mention there. So overall, my final conclusion of the Brio Beardscape is I would give this a 9 out of 10. It really outperforms most trimmers on the market with more modern design and accessories that's included. Additionally, you can buy some very cool accessories for this blade, for this trimmer, that other companies don't even offer. I also know that this has a 2-year warranty. That is a very long warranty. Most trimmers don't even offer a warranty at all, and if they do, it's about a 1 year. This is double. And from what I've read on Reddit, their customer service is extremely kind and willing to help you with any type of scenario. So the only reason that this is not a 10 out of 10 is primarily because of that water resistance issue that I mentioned before. I do hope in the future that they make it more waterproof or at least water resistant. So that's something to be desired, but overall, a really great trimmer. It is a little bit on the expensive side, but with the warranty and the quality that you get with this, I think it's well worth the money. Well, that's gonna be it for the Brio Beardscape. I really hope this video helped you out. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video. And thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.